So I'm going to be making both of these recipes today, and they start off very similar. This one just has a lot more sugar, and you bring it to a boil and then you add it, just let it cool down and then add it to the jar. And this one here, you actually are going to just boil your cherries in it, their cherry peppers, excuse me, for just a few minutes. So we're going to start with this recipe. And then it's just 1 cup of distilled vinegar. I'm going to skip the water on it just because I don't want the extra water in the other recipe. And then when this one is done and I pull the hot peppers out, then I'm going to add in the rest of the ingredients for the other recipe. So I'll show you that in just a minute. So for this recipe, we're adding 1 cup of white vinegar. And then I have pre-measured out our salt, sugar, and black peppercorns. So those are just going to go into the liquid. Okay, we're going to give it a stir. It's going to come to a simmer, and then we will add in our cherry peppers. All right, so this is all of the cherry peppers that I had that I'm going to do for this little tiny quick recipe. So this is why I didn't want to just make up a brine just for them. So what I'm going to add to this now is I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. My recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar, but I think that's way too sweet. So we're just going to add 1 cup of sugar. And then it calls for mustard seed, 1 teaspoon of mustard seed, and 1 teaspoon of celery seed. But I don't have celery seed, I just have celery salt. So I just added a little pinch of that. Okay, and then this is just going to come up to a boil. Once everything reduces down and melts and blends it in, then you're just going to turn the heat off and let it cool completely before you add it to your cucumber salad. And here I have the feta cheese, the sour cream, and some dried herbs. What did I put? Marjoram and basil, I think. And this is probably too much, but I didn't want to run out while I was stuffing. Okay, and then we're just going to take a little spoon and our little pepper, and we're just going to stuff it. So I have my very large bowl full of, it's got 3 of the large English cucumbers, 2 big bell peppers, and 1 large onion, all sliced on the mandolin, all put into this bowl and mixed up. And now we're just going to stick them into our mason jars that are nice and clean. And I'm going to stuff these in here, and then we're going to top it with the liquid that we made earlier that we were cooling. So I don't know if I can do this with one hand. We shall see. I don't know if this is going to work. Just give it a bit more of a stir. Alright, it's all going to mix in inside. And unfortunately my strainer is in the dishwasher because I just finished making some more crabapple jelly, so I don't have my funnel thingy, not strainer, funnel. So we're just going to pack these in nice and tight. You get the idea. I'm gonna set it down. Okay, so now we have our 3 jars, and then I have 1 little mini jar. I could have packed it all into the 3 jars. I just wanted to have another little container to give away to a friend. So now what we're going to do is we are just going to evenly distribute the liquid into all 3 of these and a little bit in this one. And then I'm going to let them sit. I recommend letting them sit for a couple of days just to kind of get the flavors and the marinades. The recipe says they are good in the fridge for up to 2 months. That's probably if you do full sugar, which I did not do. But honestly, they're not going to last that long because these are absolutely delicious. So let's get the liquid in and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so change of plan. As soon as I put in the brine, I could just see the cucumber kind of starting to shrink up a bit. So I just let it set for a few minutes and I was able to cram it down probably about 2/3 of the way in each one of these and empty this jar into that one. So I'm going to end up with 2 really packed jars. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring the liquid right up to the top. You see there? So we're getting a lot of the liquid is not just from the brine that I made, but from the cucumbers and the peppers releasing their liquid into the jars as well. So that is going to be absolutely delicious. We're going to let it just sit for, I don't know, it tastes good even now, but let it sit for a couple of days. And then it's just really nice alongside a meal. You can top it on top of a sandwich, anything like that. It's really, really good. So keep in mind, I will post down below in the description box. I will have both of the recipes for this and for the peppers. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.